Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Farlands or Bust. Wasting all the time there, Wolfie. Waiting to bark, but we are ready to go. I certainly hope you didn't adjust the sound on your computer or your headphones thinking that the volume wasn't working, because you would have been surprised. Surprised by a hello, ladies and gentlemen, and now you're deaf. But yeah, welcome back to Farlands or Bust. We are, oh my gosh, we are having problems with our inventory here, but we're also continuing on to the Farlands here in episode 473 of the series, Walking Towards the Farlands. Wow, that's the block selection every time I see it at its maximum. It's crazy. I am flabbergasted. My ghasts are flabbered. But yeah, it's episode 473. It is Wednesday, April 15th, 2015. Boy, I hope you did your taxes if you live in America. I don't know what the tax season is for other countries, but at least in America, your taxes are due. Your taxes be due. Better get them postmarked, e-filed, turbo-taxed, H&R blocked, on the way to the government. But, ooh. It's a hidey hole. But yeah, anyway, so, hello everybody. Hope you're not stressed out. Let's get things organized here. We are continuing with Farlands, and we are also, speaking of money, a much better cause than your taxes, I suppose, depending on your opinions, towards how your taxes are spent, would be to donate to Child's Play charity at farlandsbus.com. We are up to... Ooh, let's go through here. We are up to 36,000... Oh, this might have been a bad idea. Poor choice, Kurt. $36,414 and 63 cents. 72% of the way to our $50,000 goal for this season, Season 5. It's coming up soon to reach that goal, and then that's when we hold the official Flabathon celebration, at the end of which we press F3 for real, to see how far we have walked. And hello! Look at this! We found it! We have not strayed. We have not strayed from our original path. If you remember the last two episodes, we went back to try to find the floating point border. What should we call that? The floaty point boundary of amazingness. We went back, we saw this on the way back, but we decided we didn't have time to explore it, and hoped that maybe we would see it again on our return trip, and we have done just that. The Minecraft gods are smiling upon us. Of course, this is one of the more difficult style of spawners to get rid of. So let's see what we can do here. It just appears as though these are source blocks over here. So let's try to get rid of these source blocks. Placing blocks is getting more difficult now that the block selection is way off. You're way off, man. You're out of line. This whole system's out of order. But yeah. 72% of the way there. Keep going to farlandsorbus.com to donate to Child's Play charity. Oh, did we do it? We did it. All right. Let's find a way down. All right. It is, I'm assuming, a zombie spawner is why I hear all the zombies. Yep. And here is our first chest. What's it gonna be? Oh, well, wow, that's a lot of string. I'll take the iron. We were running out of iron. I'm assuming the other one is right here. Oh god, don't do that. Jeez. Oh my gosh, at all the iron. The gods have blessed us with great fortune and stuff to make new tools and armor out of. Because, yeah, we were running out of that. Didn't I say that? Wow, that's unusual for this version of the game. There usually aren't that many items in the blocks, or in the crates. The loot crates, no, in the spawners. Oh, well, that was the shortest journey ever. Dang it. That boat came all this way, stopped here, and has been sitting here for 3 episodes, only to be broken by my incompetence. Oh, man. But anyway, yeah, alright, don't break the boat. let's continue on here. Let's talk a little bit. We'll only linger on this 2-block offset business shenanigans for a while today. No more experiments. Last episode we made pretty much zero progress towards the Farlands because we were doing experiments. But people have corrected me. I said that dispensers were not available in this version of the game. Turns out they were. I was thinking of droppers. I was thinking of the things that were added very recently. Droppers and hoppers. Apparently dispensers were in this version of the game. But I don't think, if you think about it, I don't see how anything changes. Like, how would a dispenser not function properly because of the block offset? It just drops an item out of it, doesn't it? So I don't think there's much to test there. I don't know that I've even ever crafted a dispenser in my entire life in Minecraft, but that's beside the point. I do want to try, however, something. We could probably try at this next elevated hidey hole coming up. Or, well, we might actually come across one that's pre-built for us. Signs. We talked about doors in the last episode are 3 texture pixels deep. Signs are only 1 texture pixel deep. So you'd think if you place a sign on a block that is facing the direction of the offset, that the sign would clip through the block. Because the sign, as we've discovered through much testing, is an entity. A sign is an entity and not a block. So it jitters with the block selection. So it's possible we could have a sign that vanishes behind the block it has been placed on. So we'll test that out. We'll have to test that out. Remind me to do that. Do I have? Oh yeah, I've got plenty of wood and sticks and the whole shebang. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So we'll definitely try that out. Also, there has been a rumbling in the tumbling. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Wolfie. Oh, did I forget? Oh no. Okay, there he is. I'm like, did I forget to stand him back up after the spawner? All right, this whole boat thing. There we go. Just shimmy on through. Wow, nicely done. Even with the terrain jitter. I am skilled. I am a skilled sailor. Apparently, somebody has created a mod for Minecraft 1.8.1, the full release. It's kind of like a mod file, a very simple change that you drop into the game that re-adds the Farlands at the actual distance they're supposed to be at 12,500,000 whatever 820 blocks. It re-adds it to the re-adds the Farlands to the Nether, and it also shows up in the end. And people are saying, "Oh, now you can upgrade, Kurt. Now you can upgrade to the latest version of the game and continue your journey." Not so fast there, my jump to conclusion friends. Not so fast. Couple things. I've said this many times before. If somebody creates a mod, and there have been actually mods also in addition to this one. This one's just simply seems a little bit more simple. Simply, there have been mods in the past, but I've said if it's a mod that re-adds the Farlands, I would not upgrade because it's not the true Farlands. It is a, the Farlands were an accident. Notch didn't intend. He didn't add the Farlands as a game mechanic. They were a mathematical error. So it seems a lot more natural and mysterious than, say, someone who purposefully says, okay, at this coordinate, build the Farlands. Also, just in general, even if, say, Mojang releases, like, say, 1.9 or 2.0, by mistake somehow adds the Farlands, I honestly don't know that I'd upgrade. A big part, in my opinion, of the interest I have in this Let's Play, and a lot of people have in this Let's Play, aside from the journey, is the fact that we are playing in a very old version of the game, Beta 1.7.3, and there's a lot of nostalgia for the game at this as it currently is right here, and people want to see this as opposed to the current version of the game. I find a little bit more interest in the terrain in general, so I will not be upgrading for that reason. For that reason as well. I had another reason, and now I don't remember it. It's a mod. I'm not even a fan of the new versions of the game. I kind of much prefer this version. Did I not? I guess I must have strayed a little bit because I don't see an elevated hidey hole. Oh, unless that was where the non-elevated hidey hole would be. But anyway, let's make an elevated hidey hole here. We're gonna sleep, and then I'll place a sign on the side of it, and we'll see if we can actually get the sign to intersect with the hidey hole. So let's go to sleep and continue on in the morning. I remembered the third reason why I won't be upgrading and using the Farlands mod, because right now it only works in Minecraft 1.8.1, not in the actual current version of the game, which is 1.8.3. So, okay, I could upgrade and install this mod and play in 1.8.1, but then I'm going to be stuck in 1.8.1, just like I'm stuck in beta 1.7.3 here. So there's really, it's not like I could continue upgrading. The person who made the mod would have to keep updating the mod every single time. So yeah, there is a reason in and of itself. All right, now let's test. All right, we are on the correct path for a jitteriness. This is the elevated hidey hole of sign testositude. Oh, dang it. Testosterone. Doubt. Testometry. Woo. All right. Oh, no, it doesn't. Oh, oh, it does. There we go. The vanishing sign. Because the game, in relation to me, thinks the block is back there, but the texture is up here. That's pretty funny. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Neat. And we're just ever so slightly off in the other direction that it kind of clips through the other side. That's funny. That is hilarious. All right, Wolfie, I look back at the episode where we discovered the one block offset, and even back then, Wolfie was very much against allowing me to do science, pushing me around, getting in my way. Well, that's like flush with it. That's kind of interesting. It's very hard to get it just on the money. There. Oh, that's cool. Check that out. It's the text. I've gotten it within a pixel, or the text is showing through, but not the sign. That's funny. That's good times. All right, well, that was a good experiment. Thank you, everybody who suggested that. Yep, thanks, Wolfie, for pushing me once again. But yeah, let's continue making progress here. No more dilly-dallying about. So yeah, that's another reason why I wouldn't upgrade for this mod, because then I'd be stuck in 1.8.1, which is a version of the game that I could really honestly care less about regardless. So yeah, I do appreciate everybody's been telling me those things, and people have apparently, oh, you could upgrade. Apparently, I'm assuming those people are people who have not been watching the series for long enough to have realized that it's not so much about just being stuck in this version of the game. It at this point is a choice to stay in beta 1.7.3. I kind of, a little spoiler alert, I suppose. I've been tossing around the idea up in the old marbles. The marble brain tube areas of actually doing like another single-player series. Kind of got inspired by the 4-year live stream where we loaded up a bunch of old Minecraft worlds. So I've been considering maybe even Zisto has been doing a series where he's playing through the old versions of Minecraft that I think is really a cool idea. I certainly wouldn't bogart his idea and just copy that, but to have another series in the old versions of the game just seems more interesting to me, and it would give me a chance to actually play the video game in an older version as opposed to this, which is playing the video game, but not, we're not playing the video game. We're just walking in one direction here, so it's not quite the same. But that's an idea I've been tossing around, I suppose. Oops, that is not my workbench. So I don't know. It's not like, oh, next week it's going to happen. This if it happens at all would be months off, perhaps even after the Flobathon, because I would want to put my full energies into that before starting to decide to make another Minecraft series on my channel. But the ideas, they swirl. I'm not just some sort of record stuck on repeat here. I'm thinking of new things to do. I can be original and creative. Just give me a chance. Yeah, all right, so that's cool. Let's, the SpaceX, space news. The SpaceX Dragon Falcon 9 rocket launch did not happen on Monday, happened on Tuesday. Launch was successful. The Dragon capsule is on the way to the International Space Station. The big news there is that they were going to have their second attempt at landing that first stage Falcon 9 rocket onto the barge to test its recoverability. And the news so far is that it did land. It found its target. It landed, and there's even a very teasy vine that SpaceX put up from a chase plane from like miles and miles away. It came in quite sideways. Seems like it landed, but the horizontal momentum, once the rocket landed, had it tip over. That seems like a very Kerbal Space Program thing to do. Whenever you have a lander, it inevitably always tips over. But it apparently landed better than the last attempt, where it just slammed into the side and did a barrel roll over the side and turned into flames and explosions. But they had a vine where it was like gimbaling back and forth, and the vine cuts off right before the thing tips over. So apparently they're getting closer, but it's certainly not something that they can nail on the first or even the second attempt, really. But that'll be something interesting. They have to tow the barge back to port, and then they'll be able to actually get the video footage from the deck of the barge. And they'll also be able to see if any of the first stage survived, or if it all fell off into the sea. But that'll be some interesting stuff to see. They're very teasery, SpaceX. They just give you a little taste. Oh, here's a little, and then it cuts off at the most interesting part when the spacecraft hits the deck of the barge, the landing pad. But that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see. So stay tuned for that. Also, some of you have asked, I was even asking, a while ago, back in March, the Dawn spacecraft entered orbit around Ceres, and we were very much interested in seeing close-up pictures of Ceres, the dwarf planet between Mars and Jupiter. We haven't gotten any up-close pictures, and the main reason for that is because the orbit, it's inserted into orbit, but it's in such an oblong orbit to begin with. It's got to do little adjustment burns to bring its apoapsis and periapsis down into less of an egg shape and more into a circle around the dwarf planet. It is right now orbiting, and it's on the dark side. It's on the side opposite the sun, so it could take a picture of where Ceres is, but it's in darkness and there's nothing to see. So we're still waiting. It's soon, I think. I think it's soon. It might be May. It might be May before we see actual pictures up close of the surface of Ceres. Because one of the great mysteries of Ceres was the white spots that they discovered, getting closer and closer to see what they are. Are they craters that uncovered like a ice underneath? Are they snow or ice caps on top? Or is there some sort of geological reflective material on there? Some sort of silicone or something maybe? I don't know. But yeah, we're still waiting on that. That's still something to keep our fingers crossed for that. And of course, New Horizons on its way to Pluto, I think, snapped its first color picture of the Pluto-Charon pair, getting closer and closer. That is July. I believe that's July is when the official flyby there happens. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, space news. We're getting back on track with some normal, your usually scheduled Minecraft Farlands or bus topics here. Speaking of which, got a bunch of questions from people who have donated to Child's Play charity. We can continue with those. We've missed out on those for the last couple episodes. This one from an anonymous donor asking questions about Eva. I know our life changes quite a lot when we acquire a new pet. So how are you and Eva adapting to each other? Well, first of all, she's not responding to her name when I say it out loud there, but how are you adapting to each other? What has been your favorite thing as a fresh new dog owner so far? I think we're adapting. Her personality is indeed starting to show a little bit more. Getting a lot better, certainly a lot better with the, I suppose the biggest fear, or not fear, but just worry of any new dog owner is the, oh, there's an old elevated hidey hole. Hello, old friend. I'm a little bit ahead of schedule, so I can continue walking a little bit more. It seems a bit wasteful, but I will leave you there. You are a monument. You know, you would say, oh, why don't you just take that bed? You're obviously not going to spawn there anymore, but I'll leave it. It means something in the history of Farlands Bust. We'll just make it a few hundred. Oh, I remember that. I remember doing this the same thing. I remember jumping down and being like, ooh, that was close. Oh, and then Wolfie hurt himself. I think Wolfie hurt himself again. Deja vu, anybody? Deja vu. But yeah, the main worry is like, oh gosh, it's gonna make a mess of the home and the carpet. And there were a few incidents. Probably mostly my fault for not really knowing the schedule yet, but the last couple weeks actually have been working out quite well. So she's got that down. She still won't go on walks. Only in the backyard. So when we're out for walks or whatever, we'll not go. So that is something that might take a little bit while for her to get used to, or even maybe understand that that's okay for her to use the facilities whilst out on a walk. But otherwise, doing all right. But yeah, her personality is certainly coming out a bit more. A little bit more goofy around the house. I got her one of those. She's an intelligent breed of dog, so I got her one of those intelligent puzzle toys where you hide treats, and they've got to remove blocks, and she's figuring that out a little bit by herself. So that's kind of cool. She doesn't seem. Let's go to sleep, and we'll continue talking about Eva in the morning. And dogness. Woof indeed. Speaking of dogs, let's feed you, because you took some damage back there. Onwards. What was I saying? Oh, she doesn't, dogs have certain personalities, whether or not, a lot of them are food motivated. That is to say, they seek reward in the form of treats or food. Eva is certainly not that way. And some dogs are maybe, they feel reward from getting pet, or getting scratched behind the ears or whatever. She enjoys that. She's not much, some dogs will come up to you and then instantly roll over and expect you to rub their bellies. No, not so much. She seems to be motivated by playing. Like, anytime you get up to do something, or you want to, you're like, oh, hi, Eva, and blah, 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 she'll instantly get in her stance to be like, okay, let's start throwing toys around and play fetch. And certainly going out to play Frisbee. There was a little bit of an incident. I am probably, for my own sake, but also hers as well, going to be looking around for some sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Obedience type style training. She's already very good with the sit, and stuff like that. And she's very friendly around people. But there are certain incidences, such as I was playing Frisbee in a field, and back and forth, and sometimes she'll get tired. The way she lets you know that she's tired is she takes the Frisbee and runs to a shaded area, like under a tree or something, or against a building. This time, she must have been tired and decided that she's just going to walk back home by herself, and went beeline in the other direction. I kept trying to get her to come to me, and the one thing I learned is, when your dog starts to run away, don't chase after him, because then they think it's a game. I don't think that was the case. I was trying not to run after her, but she crossed the street, which was frightening, and then kind of just sat on the corner, but she knows which way is home, which is reassuring. But that was something that, possibly my fault. Perhaps I wore her out a little bit too much, and whenever dogs get a little bit tired and worn out, they perhaps are less obedient. They're less keen on recognizing or responding to commands, but that was a little bit spooky. So yeah, obedience training for myself, but also for Eva is certainly something. There's like a gnat just flew in my face. Certainly something in store for the future there. Just to get a little bit more of a repertoire between myself and Eva. My favorite thing, probably playing fetch. Like I said, she's excellent, despite the little incident, but the frisbee, leaping grabs and catches and whatnot. Very, very skilled at the fetch stuff. Least favorite thing is coming across other dog owners on walks. She's like excellent around people. Like a little bit too excellent. One of the reasons I like the Australian cattle dog is that they're very obedient, are smart and independent, but also very, they cling to their owners and their homes, and they do make good watchdogs. I didn't want like a mean dog or anything like that, but a dog that could perhaps defend or ward off. Careful, Wolfie. Sort of situations at home. No, she just loves all people. Dogs, on the other hand, she's very nervous around dogs. Particularly dogs who bark. If ever we're walking by a yard that has a dog barking on the other side of the fence, the hairs on the back of her spine will stick up, and she tries to go past it a little bit faster. Had one encounter. Smaller dogs, she seems to want to dominate right away. Not really aggressive, but just say like, "Hey, I'm bigger than you. Look at my fur on the back of my neck standing up." Ran across a smaller dog that she kind of didn't bite at, but barked in the face of, which was like, "Whoops, sorry, guy. This is an awkward social situation. We will continue walking in our opposite directions." But then bigger dogs, she seems very defensive and kind of will hide behind you and or try to get away of a bigger dog, especially if they approach her or bark at her. So there's another spawner. Jeez, we're just coming up gangbusters with the spawners in this episode. Let's explore it, because we saw it. We have to explore it. That's the rule. Wolfie, would you like to just sit right there? Whoa! Yeah, all right. Whew. All right, what kind of spawner is this? This is a spoiler spawner. And here is what... Oh. What kind of business is that? I've been bamboozled. There's a bump there, but no chest. Bump, but no chest. Alright, let's look for the chest. This could be a chestless one. Without chest, it is, I think. Huh. What a bunch of chests. It's a chestless spawner. Unless... No? Those are the only other two places it could possibly be. Yep. Well, then. I suppose it was just being so generous. Unless the chest somehow spawned down there. No. So generous before. You know what happens to spawners that don't leave me any loot? They anticlimactically get destroyed. That took a little bit longer than I anticipated. But, let's not go that way. We're going to push Wolfie off into the void. Alright, come on over here. There we go. Woof! Woof indeed. Let's see here. What time is it? It's cloudy. We got plenty of time here. This one, another from an anonymous donor. What is your favorite astronomical picture? That's tough. I do like the one from Cassini of Saturn, lit from behind by the sun, and that's where you can see all the rings, even out to the faint F rings and E rings and stuff like that of Saturn. That one's really cool. And also Earth. There's this dang gnat flying in my face again. And then also you can see Earth, a little point of light that is Earth around the left side of the picture. That one's pretty great. Obviously, also the pale blue dot is a pretty significant picture. I like also pictures of the Orion Nebula. There's specifically a composite picture of the entire constellation Orion, but it combines a bunch of stacked images and also, I think, probably infrared images that show you all of the clouds, both of the Orion Nebula and then up near the belt where the Horsehead Nebula is. It just shows the entire cloud, the depth of all the clouds of nebulae and dust and particles that are surrounding the Orion Nebula. So that's a pretty cool one. Speaking of clouds, it's an eclipse. So yeah, I mean, there's just quite a lot. I can't say there's quite a favorite of mine in particular. But, of course, Earthrise, I don't know if you consider that an astronomical picture, or perhaps that's more of a spaceflight picture. There's the Earthrise from Apollo 8, is also very, very significant indeed. So yeah, quite a bunch indeed. I have, what do I have? I think I have the Eagle Nebula as my desktop background that spans across 2 monitors. So that's there. This person's is the first picture of Earth, also known as the Blue Marble, or the Witch Nebula NASA released on Halloween. All right. Congratulations. This one from Kenny G, no, just G, asks, what is your favorite sci-fi vehicle? Sci-fi vehicle. I would probably say, like, the X-Wing from Star Wars, because it's kind of the most like a fighter jet. At least, I mean, I know there's other fighter jet style sci-fi vehicles from Battlestar Galactica and I said that weird. Like, I pronounced each and every simple vowel. And other sci-fi things, but I don't know what they're called, nor do I really have any sort of emotional attachment to them. But probably the X-Wing is kind of like an F-14, where like the swept wings and then the wings expand. It kind of has that vibe to it, which is possibly the inspiration behind the fighter jet style of the X-Wing. So I'll probably go with that. Let's go with that probably. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll stick with that, simply because I don't watch that much sci-fi. I don't watch the Star Treks. I'm not a huge buff into that stuff, so there's probably a lot that I'm missing, and there will be great strife in the comments over which is the best sci-fi vehicle. Of course, it doesn't even have to be like a space vehicle. It could be like from Blade Runner or something else, sci-fi vehicle. Who knows? But yeah, that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. So deal with it. Seems to be desert on the other side of this hill, but I want to make just a slight amount of progress. We're out of sequence with the hidey holes from the previous episodes, or it's possible we're further. We are further than those hidey holes, because otherwise I would set up shop in the other one, but I can't see any torches or anything that would indicate we're anywhere near them. I think we are generating new terrain now. This is loading a bit slower. Oh my god. Phone going off. Telemarketers. Be gone. But yeah. Here we are. Continuing onward into a very strange and unusual Farlands Abust world where everything is 2 pixels off. And we're gonna be feeling sick and gross from the jitters, and we have gravel for ground. Oops, didn't mean to do that. That was an accident. Let's do that and that. Oop, it's so dark and scary. There we go. So yeah, this has been episode 473 of Farlands Abust on April 15th, 2015. We are going to continue with our normal Farlands adventure in the next episode. Oh, let's do that. There we go. Do I need to do anything else here? My shovel and my axe are getting kind of low, and since we picked up the extra iron at that spawner, that really helps that situation. We are once again over encumbered. Well, let's grab our shiny new workbench. Oh man, I'm gonna sneeze. We avoided sneezing. Ugh. I don't have a mute button on this microphone, so that's why when I do sneeze, you guys get to enjoy it with me. There probably has got to be some sort of macro or shortcut I could program onto my keyboard that does that. But anyway, I digress. But we continue to the Farlands in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 on Friday. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. FarlandsAreBus.com to donate to Child's Play charity. I will see you next time. There's like a gnat just flew in my face.